Aries. For this week, Aries is going to see a change of Venus from the third house to the fourth house, and Jupiter and Rahu will start separating, and Jupiter will move forward, and the movement of Jupiter will be very auspicious for Aries natives. Just that you will have to be careful if you are going to invest your money in the home renovation, in buying an asset like any property, buying a car, or while you are driving. Health of your mother can be of some concern, and you may have to help your sister in certain cases. Overall, this is a time when the environment of home can be slightly stressful, especially towards the end of the week, considering that Venus is joining Mars. Both Venus and Mars will be in the fourth house in the sign of Cancer, where Mars is debilitated. Moon will also touch Ketu during this week, and because Moon will be touching Ketu, you will have to be careful about the emotions, the mood swings, and the emotional outbursts. So be very mindful of your words. How do you express yourself? And if you are becoming very sensitive to smallest of the changes, smallest of the criticism, then this might become very difficult week for you. So try to maintain that practicality and a little bit of groundedness. Most probably this week will give you better finance, some more opportunity in your career, some relief will come from your career front, and new opportunities are also on the way, especially if you are running a business. You will also see some relief, and the career of your spouse will also see some positive trend. Taurus Ascendant. Your Ascendant Lord Venus will shift its zodiac sign from the second house to the third house. Third house will have a debilitated Mars. This will give much needed comfort and relief to any kind of struggle that you are in. So this will be a good week for you. But because your Ascendant and your sixth Lord is trying to follow a debilitated Mars which is in Pushya Nakshatra, you must pray to Ma Bhagavati by chanting Durga Saptashati. This is the time when you have to be very polite, humble. Creative professional will see a good time during this week, and Mars and Venus conjunction will bring in passion, but also can make you love lethargy. Your inertia of rest will increase, and maybe the food that you eat or the kind of life that you're living, your lifestyle will push you to more and more restfulness. Now, if you want to rejuvenate, if you want to rest and recover, it's good. But you should not leave your active lifestyle. You should always focus more on doing things creatively. Expression will be misunderstood, especially in relationships and with your siblings. So be very clear and try not to, taunt or joke or say anything that may hurt the other person. Now, Venus rules your prarabdha, and when sixth lord goes in the third house, you may have to do few things, and you will be asked to execute your role and task in certain areas which you don't want to do. But after all, if it is your prarabdha, you will have to. Also, because it is your Ascendant Lord going in the third house, you may have to take on responsibilities that will frustrate and irritate you, and may put you into a position where it is against your basic nature. Try to execute this and try to understand the grand picture, the greater design behind what is being asked of you. And if you remain practical and if you can bring in the comfort, basically loving what you do and do what you love, you will be all right this week. Gemini. In case of Gemini, Venus will be exiting out of your Ascendant, Venus which is your 5th and 12th Lord, and Venus will go in the second house. This might increase expenses, so be very mindful of the money that you are using, how you are spending. There might be unexpected expenses in your family and towards renovation, towards any health of your family member. So be watchful and try to consume less and save more. When 12th Lord goes in the second house, it might also happen that some old friend or a family member might come back in your life, and some other family members might not like that. Sometimes a presence of another member is makes other people comfortable. So try to manage this balance effectively. by being humble and by being polite. War is definitely not the way here. But Venus in the second house will definitely give its therapeutic, flavor to the second house, which is about your values, food, your money, the savings, and the abundance. So definitely this is a transit of abundance, and this week will give you positive energy. So pray to Ma Mahalakshmi for abundance, for health and happiness. And Jupiter and Rahu, which is in your 11th house, will also start separating. Jupiter will start gaining more and more strength as it progresses to the sign of Aries, which is exceptionally good for you because this Jupiter actually aspects the 3rd house, 7th house and 5th house, giving you productivity, giving you right guidance and right mentorship. Look out for proper information, and before saying anything and before eating anything, know the consequences. Cancer. In case of Kark Ascendant, the Venus will move from the 12th house to the 1st house. This brings a lot of relief from people who are already suffering from a debilitated Mars on the Ascendant. Venus is a very important planet for you because Venus rules your 11th house. And 11th house Venus coming in the 1st house is gain of personality, gain of health, recovery from financial losses, controlling your anger, your mood swings will be controlled, and something auspicious and happy will happen with you this week. Although these transits are very subtle, soft, and definitely will have a very smaller impact if I talk about just a couple of days, but still, even if it impacts your mind, even if it impacts your personality, it will make you feel good, and you can use that in your day-to-day activities and in your career. Now, Venus and Mars aspects your 7th house. Just you have to ignore your jealousy. This might introduce doubts, and not initially, but some thought might come your way. Right now you might ignore it, but the same thought will become a demon in your head a couple of weeks later. So be watchful of that. You can watch my Venus transit analysis, Venus transit in Cancer video, which I have uploaded in my channel. Also, if you see that Jupiter and Rahu will be in your 10th house, Jupiter will be separating. This will give you good news in your career. This will bring back your glory. Slowly and slowly you will see that the energies will become positive, and you will see that you will be able to maintain a work-life balance. The relationship with your spouse, the relationship with your business partner will be in question here. You will have to correct your own attitude. If you are emotionally very sensitive, then you must talk to someone, you must talk to a counselor, and if you cannot control that. But if you can control through meditation, through yoga, through pranayam, it will be a great thing. Take care of your health. Venus and Mars on the Lagna can give you lifestyle issues. Alcohol, smoking should be kept away. And yoga, pranayam, basic holistic wellness program should be followed during this time. It's a good transit financially. It's a good week. Overall, make the best use of it. Leo. Now, in case of Leo, there are two events that will happen. One, Jupiter and Rahu will be in a separation from Rahu, and Jupiter will gain positive strength in the 9th house. This 9th house Jupiter, which aspects the 1st house, will now start gaining positive energies, will give you new opportunities to learn. It will benefit students, scholars, people who want to go to a different country for education or for career. This week will be somewhat beneficial for them. Venus, which is also your career lord, will move in your 12th house this week on 30th of May. And Venus movement in the 12th house should be dealt with slight caution, because this can introduce more and more expenses that you may have not planned for. Focus more on savings, and whatever expenses you want to do, you must have a proper justification, not to give anyone, but to yourself. This is definitely a time to focus more on building assets. Even if there are expenses, the expenses should be for proper long-term investments and for something that can make your life more and more productive. This will benefit a lot of people who are into tourism, travel, fashion, makeup, wellness industry, especially who are going international with their knowledge, with goods and services. Overall, this is going to be a good week for you. just that you will have to be careful that your subconscious mind is treated with positive energy, with Krishna Bhajan. So listen to Madhurashtakam. Virgo. Virgo will experience Rahu and Jupiter separation in the 8th house. Therefore, this is an excellent time for research scholars, doctors, physicists, especially someone who is into space and particle physics, quantum, or any such niche skill in science and technology. Students related to such fields or who want to pursue these fields will gain more interests and they will get right guidance. So eventually this week is going to be extremely beneficial for you. Mercury will also be with Rahu and Jupiter, which means that through in-depth knowledge, through proper data processing, you will be able to find answers to even the most difficult questions. This is the right time to fix any loophole and figure out any negative you can say energy trail in your personal life or in your business. People who want to bring in investors will see some positive response, and people who are handling other people's money, people who are in stock market and speculative business will also see gain during this week. Venus will also move from Gemini, which is your 10th house, to Cancer, which is your 11th house, therefore giving relief financially. Venus transit in the 11th house will be actually very good because Venus is your Dhana Lord. So this ensures that you will gain money during this week, and this particular week will give you opportunities for professionals to actually grow and create or do something that will give them a future financial return if the return is not possible immediately. Chant Shri Suktam this week and bow down at the feet of Ma Mahalakshmi. Libra. In case of Libra ascendant, your ascendant Lord Venus will be shifting the zodiac sign this week from Gemini to Cancer zodiac sign. That means Venus will shift from 9th house to 10th house, giving relief to your career. You will see that some help will come your way if you are stuck in your career, and people who are trying for a new job might see good opportunity. After all, it is your Lagna Lord. And it also being your 8th Lord, you will see transformations coming in your career. Just refrain from any controversy, just refrain from any unnecessary debate. And when you're trying to point out something or when you're trying to defend yourself, be mindful of your words, because frustration will be there and frustration will also rise. Trust might be a factor where you will have to be careful, because the one that you will trust on might backstab you. Now, when Venus goes in the 10th house and there is a Jupiter and Rahu separation this particular week, Jupiter starts gaining strength in your 7th house. Therefore, this is the time when new startup ideas can come, new ventures can be formed, new dealings can happen, and you might meet new business partners. Whatever happens, because 7th and 10th house are affected the most, you have to be careful with all your ideas. Don't try to reveal all your secrets, and you will have to exercise more control on yourself rather than focusing only on what can happen. That all that glitters is not gold. And for Libra overall, this is definitely going to be a positive week, but this week will be full of work. Try to enjoy what you do and embrace a certain hobby that will ease out any tension. Scorpio. In case of Scorpio natives, you will see that your ascendant will receive lot of relief when Venus will enter the Cancer zodiac sign in the 9th house. Mars and Venus in the 9th house will definitely would want you to take the side of comfort and leisure and pleasure. This particular week is a week where you can enjoy your life on a day-to-day basis. Do something that makes you feel good. Watch a movie, some web series, something that makes you feel better. Anything, right? Read a book, write a book. But don't change your belief system. Don't think that the matrix or Maya is everything, because this particular week will also depress you somewhat by showing you all the glitz and glamour and then making you feel that you don't have it. This kind of materialistic desire will develop a lot in this particular week. Also considering that Jupiter and Rahu will be in the 6th house and Jupiter will be separating. Let Jupiter separate for a couple of weeks and you will see positive results. Try to refrain from any controversy, and in relationship you must maintain honesty, clarity, and in case of any problem or any fight, try to maintain transparency, especially in marriage. But overall, if you keep your health in check, if you are not planning any big travel during this week, things will be more or less okay. Sagittarius Ascendant. In case of Sagittarius Ascendant, the Jupiter, which is your Ascendant Lord, will start its separation from Rahu, which is extremely auspicious in your 5th house, therefore giving right direction to learn, good for people who are working in edtech industry, good for people who are running, who are associated with education institutions, and anyone who wants to be a guide, a mentor, a life coach, a preacher, this is a good time. Also learning something unique, especially in your professional field of work, will be great, like certifications. For students, it's a very good time because Jupiter will gain a lot of power. And now with the presence of Venus from 30th of May with Mars, this will be a Vipareet Rajyog. Your 6th Lord will move to the 8th house, which means that through your own hard work and through your sheer, action, this 6th house and 12th Lord coming in the 8th house might bring an end to anything that is unnecessary. Toxic relations will go away and you will see a lot of positivity in your life. So overall, this week will give you a lot of positive and auspicious news, and you must also try to bring positive changes through detoxification, using food and digital detox. Capricorn Ascendant. Now in case of Capricorn Ascendant, Saturn will be in the 2nd house and Mars and Venus will be in the 7th house. Now because of this Mars and Saturn tug of war and Venus getting caught in between, marriage and relationship will be affected the most. So you will have to be careful there. On the other hand, Jupiter will start its separation from Rahu in the 4th house. Therefore, slowly the clarity will come and Jupiterian energy will take over, which is good for you. But until Mars and Venus are together in the 7th house, you have to be careful from your relationship, how you communicate. See, sometimes, because of a misunderstanding, because of a wrong influence, you can take wrong decisions, especially towards your business. Also, the career of your spouse, if you're married, will trouble you and there will be misunderstanding. So try to maintain that work-life balance, and this is good for all of you who are Capricorn Ascendant. Otherwise, this is definitely going to be a transit where this 1 week might trouble you emotionally, but more or less things will be pretty much okay. Aquarius Ascendant. In case of Aquarius Ascendant, Saturn will be on your 1st house, but Venus will enter 6th house. Now see, Venus is an important planet because Venus rules your 4th and 9th house. And when this goes in the 6th house, this can increase debts, problems, this can bring marital disputes, health issues. So you have to be very careful, especially if you are pregnant and if you are there to deliver a child, you must be extra cautious during this time. When 9th Lord goes into the 6th house, it means your dharma is to solve the prarabdha and bring solutions to the questions that you are suffering in life. Whatever the problem be it, just bow down at the feet of Ma Mahalakshmi, chant Shri Suktam and try to donate whatever you can. Sometimes sharing gives great powers to the horoscope. This 1 week might be slightly negative. You might be overoccupied, you might be busy, your health might take a toll. So try to be more physically active, eat light and focus on the positive side. Listen to positive music, especially if you can listen to Madhurashtakam, it will be great. 6th house Venus can, especially for females, it can create a lot of mood swings and health issues. So keep a check on all that health issues. Overall, if you take great care and if you are focused, you will be okay in this week. But don't try to do something that can aggravate a negative Venus. Especially you might see that there will be wrong influence through social media, and there might be a fight, there might be unnecessary dispute. Try to stay away. Pisces ascendant. In case of Pisces, your ascendant lord is gaining power in the second house by separating from Rahu. This will give you great benefits from foreign country. This will bring in auspicious news in the family, and your financial insecurities will slowly go away. This week you will see something positive going your way if your horoscope permits that. On the other hand, Venus will move in your 5th house with Mars. This might create misadventures in romance. So when you are, wherever there is a romantic angle in life, you will have to be very careful. Don't commit what you can't fulfill. Otherwise, this will be a big problem because Saturn is watching everything. Saturn being in your 12th house, and if you are a Pisces moon, this is your Sadhisati, you should be very careful with your expression, with your commitment, and even when you are asking universe to give you something, you must be clear of what you are asking. And if your expression is, if you don't know what to ask or how to ask, then don't ask. Just say to the universe that you know the best what is best for me. Please help me. Sometimes you just have to say, please help. So 5th house, Mars and Venus can also give tensions related to children in this week. And because Jupiter is yet not in a great separation with Rahu, which will happen in the next week, you might be slightly tensed about children, their studies if you have children. Also, your own digestive system might give you some trouble this week, so be careful with your food, be careful with your words and expression. But because more or less planets will be in a good houses, there is no Trikabhava involved, you should be okay. But if you feel that you are not okay or if something is wrong, then chant Hanuman Chalisa and Durga Saptashati.